Hi my hiking friends, today I want to share with you what kind of gloves do I use when I'm driving the sled. So if you don't know, then I'm working in north of Sweden as a sled dog driver and wilderness guide. Our winters here can be up to -40 degrees, although now it's not so cold, it's around -20, -30. So when I am driving a sled, I'm standing on the sled for a very long time with a very cold weather, and even if it's not so cold, maybe it's -10, you still need quite a lot of gear to keep your fingers warm, because fingers are your most important asset out there next to your brain, because your brain makes decisions, but your fingers will do everything that's needed to survive or solve problems if they arise. So always keep your fingers warm. And we have a slight rule: never do things barehanded here, because when you take away your glove, it will get cold so quickly, and then it's quite hard to get them warm again. So I'm just gonna start with it. My main working gloves are these Hestra gloves that are really used. Most of my favorite gloves are leather because they keep warm, they're natural material, and also when they get wet they dry out really quickly. I'm gonna show you a pair that I don't like very much just because they are synthetic. They also have these, sometimes I use these for working as well. They have this plastic layer inside, so it should be waterproof, but what actually happens is all gloves get wet at some point, then they take forever to dry out. So these gloves that maybe are marketed towards warm winter gloves, waterproof, I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I very rarely use them, and when they get super wet, they need to dry out 2 days before they actually dry out. I have 2 pairs of these working gloves. One for working and the others are drying. If these get wet, I switch them out. So it's important to keep your fingers dry, because whatever glove you have, if it's wet, it's cold. Did Linka just went right behind me? She doesn't want to be on camera today. Anyway, working gloves. My third pair of working gloves, or chores gloves where I need to use my fingers, are these Hestra gloves. They are full leather, very durable. I love them so much. Even though they're quite bulky, I still manage to do some things with my fingers. And when it's -25 degrees outside, yes, it will take longer time for me to get the things done, but at least my fingers will be kind of okay. They have this woolen extra layer inside, so you can take it off, you can dry them separately. Again, leather, it gets wet, but it dries out really quickly. I also have extra liners, so when these are wet, I switch them out and I can continue using them. You know, if you get wet, you get cold, so you do not want to get wet. And natural fibers, that's how it is here. You use natural fibers, natural materials. So I love these, but because they are gloves, yeah, fingers, I can't use them on the sled, because the moment I get on the sled, my fingers get cold because my hands are not moving, and these gloves are separating all of your fingers, so all of your fingers get cold individually. What you need to have when it's really cold is mittens. So when I get on the sled, I have these bad boys with me, and they are expedition gloves. They are down feather. They are super warm, but also still quite manageable to zip up my zipper. But that's almost the only thing that I need to do with these gloves. Otherwise, they're here just for me to stand on the sled and hold on and steer the sled. These are enough for that. If I need to do something else, that's why I have this string here. I have my big parka on. You have to imagine that. I put the string around me, and then my gloves are always with me. If I don't need them, I put them behind here, twist. If I need them, I twist them out and put them on, like this. Now I did it wrong way. they should be like this. But you remember the rule, never do things with your bare handed. So that's why I have a liner glove below my big gloves. So these are my granny knitted 100% wool gloves, because I need to use my fingers when I do something. You can also have, like, Hestra makes wool liners, but you know, I like these thicker ones because the polyester liner gloves, useless in my mind. Use wool, 100% wool. So I have these here. Inside, I take it off, I can work, and then when I don't need to work, I get back on my sled, I put them on, and I'm happy. But then I have a secret weapon. When it's extra cold, then I have these babies. Real beaver gloves. Beaver is the warmest fur that you can find, and the most durable, because can you imagine how much water and everything the beavers go through? I think so, I don't know. I've been told that beaver is one of the most warmest and durable fur there is. So my good friend made these for me, who is dealing with fur. She made these, custom made for me, these, so I can have my string here. At the palm I have like normal skin, so I can hold on from the sled and it's not so slippery, because the fur is really slippery. And then inside, I can take it off because I haven't attached it, is inverted lamb wool, like inner mitten, with this super nice thick wool. And if I tell you, this feels so good in a cold weather. And as you can see, natural material is the way to go. And yes, they are huge, and I said I don't need to do anything else with them, just to hold on a sled and maybe put on a zipper. And again, underneath these I'm using my small liner gloves. So again, I have them here. When I'm wearing them, I put them on with my big parka that you are imagining. I'm driving with the sled, I need to do something, boof, boof. I take away, I put them behind me, you see, they just keep here without a problem. And very important design element, we designed the attachment point for the string to be so high up that when I keep my gloves behind my back, you see, this part stays behind, down, so when the snow comes, it doesn't fall into my glove. Very important. And you see, when I balance it here, it holds the mouth of the glove down. If you want to have a tip for yourself, have a bigger outer glove for very cold weather. And you know, it's big, it's actually huge, it's much more bigger than my actual hand, and that's fine, because you need to keep your hands warm, and when you need to do something, you just take the outer gloves away and have something small underneath, either gloves or mittens. And when it's below 0 Celsius, try to keep in mind that don't do anything without the gloves. Your hands are so important, solving problems, so don't lose your fingers, keep them warm. And that extra final tip, you know, even with all of this gear, I still get a little bit cold in my fingers when I have to use gloves. So what I do is to warm them up when I'm driving on a sled, for example, then I take my fingers out of the glove and keep it in a fist inside of my glove. Like this, you know, I don't have any fingers here, everything is here. So this is the best way to have your fingers warm. So yeah, I guess that is it. This is how I keep my fingers warm. I will link the gloves that I can find online into my description box below. Go check it out. Otherwise, keep your fingers warm and have a nice one. Okay, bye. Bye, Linka. She's gone. Okay, bye guys.